I know, right? You want to know how I got these scars?
Oh, I love it.
Why so serious?
Yes. He's my
Uh,
boy. He's my boy, Heath.
there we go. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another Jedi Academy here on RSG. You're wondering, what the hell is
Boy.
this? Someone's got me. Wait. Do you have your speakers on?
I just turned it off, mate.
yeah,
It was on. I couldn't turn it off
am
until
I
we
hearing
started.
myself? Like, what the?
Sorry, my bad. I
No,
turned it off.
no,
Sorry.
it's totally fine. It's early in the morning. We haven't had our coffee yet. Well, I'm just starting to
Mm-hmm.
drink coffee, so let's just try to wake up first. But welcome to the Jedi Academy, the Q&A show for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. This is a straight Q&A show where we go in and answer questions. It's pretty simple. If you have a question about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, put that into the chat and make sure you follow the following format, because I use Nightbot as a filtering tool and I need a filtering word, and the filtering word is the actual word question. So when you write your question, put the word question, then actually write your question statement, and then that's how we scoop it up. If you don't, we get a lot of people and a lot of questions sometimes. I will definitely not see it. I mean, you might get lucky. Even a wrong watch is right twice a day. I might catch it, but most likely I'm going to miss it. And so one, do follow that format. Two, try to get your questions in sooner rather than later. We usually do this 2 hours. Sometimes we go over, depending on how much is going on and stuff in the community. Typically, though, especially during GAC weeks, that's really impossible, because as a programming note, I'm going to be doing 2 hours of Jedi Academy. Since we get done here, we're literally going right into GAC, because then Ranger's going to go, as he has been this entire week, more interior decorating, breaking down stuff, building stuff, hauling 500 pounds of stuff. It's been a little slog. So that'll be me in my life. And we will be back tonight on Twitch, programming note, for some D&D 5th edition wild mount campaign action. So if you love D&D, come join us. We have a lot of fun doing that. So there we go. That's all the programming notes. You know the format, you know how it works. Get your questions in. Last thing I'm going to say, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It's very important. It's the algorithm. If you'd like to support the channel and help with the content, that's an easy way to do it. You can also do super chats if you really want to get your question noticed. That's definitely a great way to do it. Trust me, I won't miss those. They make it kind of hard not to, because it flashes all over my screen like super chat. Like, okay, definitely. And it does support the channel. Last thing is, if you think about becoming a Patreon sponsor, hey, $5 a month can help us continue putting out the content you guys are enjoying, whether it's the Wednesday night show, Jedi Academy, the lunch streams during the week, all the GAC fights that we do, the special stuff that we're doing. So if you'd like to support that and keep that going, feel free to become a Patreon sponsor. It really does matter. All right, that being said, you can see everybody slowly creeping in. So start getting your questions in. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions, but let's introduce the panel as they stand now. I'm sure more will come soon, because it is Saturday morning, very bright and early on Saturday morning for the United States, and it's a Labor Day weekend, so it is a holiday weekend. So, yee. So there's a lot going on, and what am I doing? I'm going to be building furniture and hauling crappy furniture out. Oh, the things you do to make your family happy. First, you know him as the blunder from down under, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Hoinsey from the ANZJC and Will
Not
Famous.
anymore, bro.
Oh, that's right. You're in what guild now?
Not anymore.
You're in Shadowlands?
Yeah. Yeah, SL, bro.
Shadowlands.
Yeah,
There you go. All right, there you go. Well,
yeah.
I forgot about that. Sorry. I'm so used
You're
to
all right. It's all good.
I'm so used to being in the guild coalition.
It's all good, man. Morning, Ranger. Morning,
Heinzie.
My boy Aldi's here as well. Hello, mate. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, we have an international panel for you today. We got the Aussie, we've got the English, Scottish, wherever he wants to classify himself.
Scottish.
Yeah, and then me, the the ginger. So we are well represented.
Yeah, I'm afraid I may have broken Loki. Loki was up watching my JAC till well too late, so I figured it was okay just to join. Poor Loki was putting in late hours. I think it's probably about 3 hours ago we finished.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if he did his GAC last night. He's out of town too. I mean, so he's supposed to mention me if he wanted to do. I guess he's just having too much fun. When Loki goes out on vacation, he does not do that. He doesn't do anything half-ass. Loki is on the man. I mean, he's just like the stories and stuff. And I could tell that he had a good time because he comes back like on a Monday or Tuesday and he's like, "Oh my God, what did you do? Don't ask, bro." It's like, oh my God, I can see it in your face, man. Oh my goodness. So
He's done it well.
Oh yes, he's going in. He's going in full throttle. That's all I got to say about that. So he's out somewhere. I don't know. He didn't tell me where he was going this time, but I mean, usually Vegas, or he'll go to Arizona, or he'll go somewhere for Magic the Tournament, or he'll go hang out with friends at a, camping or something. He likes to do that stuff, and of course, sometimes he brings the harem, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know. It's his harem. He does with it what he will.
Well, he got a little loose, so I timed him out of chat. And then had to retime
Did you
him
really?
in. Yeah, I mean, he was giving all manner of nonsense chat advice, so I timed him out. Gave us all a break.
He was giving good advice, so you timed him out.
Well, he was giving advice, and some of it was wrong, so I figured best time him out. So he might not be speaking to me anymore. It's fine.
Who's the one drinking, him or you? It sounds like you were.
I was drinking. It started. We had a huge disagreement of whether a Galactic Legend Rey could beat a Galactic Legend Kenobi.
Ooh.
In threes. He said no. I said yes. I was right.
Well, yeah. If it's on offense versus defense, because you're controlling Rey, it can be scary because it depends. Like my Rey team, depending on the speeds, can do it. Because I usually run Rey with Cat and R2D2, but I outspeed my opponents with my R2D2 as well. So all three of my characters are faster than their Reys. But on my Rey is set up too that I'll put R2D2 there with Hermit Yoda, and then Kenobi goes, right, does this thing over to Cap, and then my R2D2 goes, and then he stealths and then puts Rey up there, and then Cat can't do her one shot.
Huge disagreement over whether it would happen or not. But we got there.
It's not efficiency, because eventually that team is going to destroy the side characters of Rey. But yeah, it depends on the mods.
No, we got 53 banners.
Then it worked out well. Yeah, because
the handbag boys survived.
Yeah, so that could work.
Yeah.
I guess if you're using the handbag boys, it depends on the speeds, right? It really comes down to mods. But yeah, I mean, it can happen. I mean, I know if I see Rey on, and I've been seeing this too, is that people that have Kenobi, I mean, they one-shot my Rey. It's unfortunate, but it's just, they put all their fast speed mods on that, and it's an easy counter to Rey, which sucks because I had set it up so well where Palpatine teams feared going against me. It's like, damn it. I mean, Rey's the queen of threes, man. She is that damn good, man. Of all the GLs on JC that you can put on defense, she is the monster of monsters. So. But yeah, I can see any GL can beat any GL if you have it set up a certain way, but some are harder to do than others. I think Rey versus Kenobi is hard to do, but it can be done, absolutely. So I would have disagreed with Loki on that as well.
We did.
Yeah. But he could have been trolling you too.
No, I think he was honest. And then later on, he tried another one, which was also wrong. So we timed him out after that one.
Oh, God!
When he got two wrong with us, screw that. You're off, Loki. Sit on the bench for a while. And then he was complaining afterwards, saying, and then he was sending numerous Discord pics saying, no, that was not him. He deserved it.
Oh, my God.
He might have been a bit loose. But I don't know.
Thank God I was exhausted yesterday and passed out. I was exhausted. Oh my god. I basically got done. We streamed yesterday for a while because I've been extending the lunch stream because of Conquest. And yeah, then I was working all day yesterday, and then I basically ate, showered, and then at that point, I just laid down because I was so exhausted. I'm like, I don't want to think. I don't want to do anything. Even though I've read the manga and I know the story, I hadn't caught up on Attack of Titan for the newest season, so I hadn't had the chance. And I like to let it build up too, and so I was watching that. It's so good. God dang. Oh, I was so happy. It was nice just to watch people getting eaten by giant, tall people. It's like, oh, it's so good. All right. So get your questions in. I can see the people are starting to do that. Now, what we usually do in the start of the Jedi Academy is we talk about what's going on this week with what's on our minds. So, Heinze, of course, you always do that very well at the beginning of the week, too, with Cubs, with Rogue Actions. I know because I watch them.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I lied. I hate you both. I don't ever want to hang out with you guys again. No, but you guys do a pretty good job of, sharing what you think is on the community mind and what's on your guys' mind. I know Conquest was a big deal this week. And then the nurse, there's a lot of stuff going on. I could tell you that,
yeah.
For the nerfs, I think for me, anecdotally from what I've been seeing from the community stuff, Vader is absolute poo-poo against higher level teams. He can still work against some stuff. He's not like he's totally Limp Biscuit, but he sucks, man. I even sent footage to CG like this is bad.
Yeah.
But I think Gas is fine. I think Luke is definitely fine. I've had no problems using those guys. Thrawn is fine as long as you don't use him against GL. He still does Thrawn stuff, so I don't think that's a problem. Watt is absolutely, his attack tech is bleh. It's
Might
not
as well
good.
not have it.
Yeah,
It's just useless.
The other techs are fine. It's just that attack tech. Maybe it's just because I used it with Vader and I was so disappointed. And I was just like, God, this is awful. Maybe I guess, but I guess we could be okay. But then I remember the guild, we were doing, of course, the final phase of Darkside TB, and there was people were really shocked at how bad their B1s were. You put the attack tech on B1 for the special mission and stuff. They're like, oh snap, this is not as powerful as it. Oh no, you're kind of relying on that to get through those missions. They still did, but it was much slower, took longer to do. So there's been all that. There's also Conquest. We've all been slugging through Conquest, which I will be doing again today, trying to knock out the feats. I think the content creators have been doing a really good job. I know I've been doing it on the lunch stream. I know you guys probably have been doing it as well, like doing Conquest and talking about which teams to use for each of the feats and what's the structure you should do when you're using your teams. Giving several teams that you can use to get the feats done. And so we've been dealing with that. So there's Conquest, there's that. We're rounding up GAC. We have the new changes in. So Heinze, what's in your brain of things that kind of got caught you what's on your mind for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes?
Oh mate, where do we start? You've summed up a lot of the stuff off the bat. It's been a hell of a couple of weeks. A full turnaround on exactly how we played this game for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
it really has. It's been a real turnaround. I'm not going to say it's for the better. I'm not going to say it's for the worst. Whatever the changes had to be made, we obviously understand by now that those changes had to be made, whether we like it or not.
We had Miller on talking about that was it was I'll defend them to a point. The ones that when they said about true damage that it had to be changed, like, got it. Okay, I'm okay with that. It was going to be unattainable for them trying to do characters and stuff moving forward. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But the other stuff, it was harder to swallow. Vader.
Look, pool noodle Vader's terrible.
Oh,
straight up, he's terrible. My 11-year-old son can throw a harder swing than Vader these
Oh,
days.
hey,
Like
that's
seriously, he's just shocking. And for a character that we were given to as a bit of a, dare I say it, a bit of a free-to-play gift back then when the rework was done, it was fantastic. And it wasn't even so much. It was, you just feel like it's a gift that you got and then it's had it taken away again.
yeah,
That's the perception for a lot of people, and I totally understand how they would be really annoyed by that.
yeah,
Um, the changes to what there's no point even having that ability, as an option. There really isn't. That a tactic. Just take it out. Don't even make it an option because you're not going to use it anywhere else now because it's all it does is give you turn meter. Meh. Like that's just not enough. And for a character that was built as a plug and play character, that makes it worse.
yeah,
Because the whole idea is he should have versatility and functionality in so many different lineups, and now all of a sudden it's not available anymore. And that's really disappointing for a lot of people, and they have every right to be upset and pretty disappointed about it.
yeah.
No doubt.
He still has some utility. I mean, especially for like
Yeah.
Seas and some other teams and stuff like that. I mean, you're not using the tactic is not the one you're really focused on. It's the, the tank
Yeah.
tech and stuff. But yeah, your point is well stated. How you been feeling about? I'm gonna ask both of you. Then Aldous will get your thing on this Conquest. I mean, how you feeling about it? I mean, it just feels grindy to me.
Yep.
My big two things that there are some positives. I mean, I think the changing of no currency for the data disk was there's some positives to Conquest changes that I like. The other feats I have no problem with because you just have to be creative like with what teams you use and stuff, and I like that. I like having to try to figure out what I'm going to use here and figuring out. However, my two big problems with Conquest
Bring it.
is if you're going to add that many more feats to Conquest, why in the bloody hell are we adding the cost to go up to do the fights?
Yes.
That's blatant.
One or the other.
It's blatant that they're trying to make you use crystals, and you have to use crystals every day to try to get this if you're going for the red box.
Yes.
That's
100%.
one. Actually, there's
Yes.
a third one. The second one is these feats where you have to use the same team over and over again. That's not creative. That's not hard. That's just
It's draining and annoying.
it's repetitive and it's nonsense and it doesn't do anything but just
Yeah.
bleh. And the last one I don't understand this and I want to get an answer on this is previously we got 90 shards and then 44 of Razor Crest. Why the hell is Ahsoka only 30? What that was not announced. That was not that just I just looked at it. I was
Stuck
like, wait a
under the
minute.
radar.
So that's going to make it harder for people. They're assuming that they were going to do like you did with the Razor Crest, 44, 44, 44. Now it's 30, 30, 30. I mean,
Yeah, people run short on unlocking it again after this conquest. I'm
Yeah.
sure about it.
Yeah.
Because they were relying on, okay, I'm going to get the max crate. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get the amount of shards that I got before.
Yeah.
And now you're going to get less. And people that have been waiting for months on end, because it's been some time between conquests, waiting for Cat to come around because they've been waiting to unlock that character and have it ready to go for their arena lineups or whatever else.
sure.
Gonna be
Poor
waiting.
character.
They're going to be waiting again almost a couple of weeks, possibly a month, but they said it was going to be a shorter break. So you'd
Yeah,
like to
we're
think
going
that
back to
it's
back to
2 or
back,
3
babe.
weeks.
Yeah, we're going back to
Yeah.
back to back. They got to.
Yeah.
We're going to
I-
be doing Conquest
yeah.
for a while, baby.
I just think that we were kind of spoiled with the first time. I didn't think they expected us to clear it red crate so fast the first time that it
Sure.
came out, and I think they didn't expect anyone to get cat this early. And I think they've now almost moved the difficulty to where they always kind of wanted it originally. It is massively grindy. I have to say, I'm just playing my way through it. I'm enjoying it. I know I probably won't get the red crate, and I'm not going to spend 1,000 crystals getting the red crate. So I'm just going to kind of see when I get to the end. I'm halfway through 4. I see it was a question. I'm 3 or 4 battles off facing the first mall now. And yeah, I'm just going to see where I get to. And then when I get to the end of it, I'm going to go back to look at which shards of cat I need to purchase to get her maxed out, and what to do on mall. And yeah, I mean, look, I think it's all about perspective. I think if you see not getting the red crate as a failure, then I think you have a different viewpoint on it. And I think you become a little bit more of a slave to CG. I think if you view it as being just, I'm going to play through it, see what I get. I think you have slightly different kind of style. I know at the top end of the game, the very top game, people need that red crate to stay on the curve or stay on the wave where they are. But yeah, for me, I'm just kind of enjoying it. I'm just playing through it. It does annoy me when they do the multiple feats. I think if you can win 5 battles with a Phoenix or with a Night Sister team, you can win 20. So it does seem a little bit of a tax. I don't know why I have to win something with a light side team and then a dark side team and then an undersized team.
Yeah, for one ticket. I mean, I've been doing them just to do them. I mean, yeah, you're making great points here, Alice. I mean, like for instance, it's perspective, right? So I think someone like me who's high Div 2, I've got all the teams. It's really just a matter, and it's not about crystals. I get plenty of crystals every day. You know, I take one fleet, I take one arena. It's not that, it's not like I don't have a high crystal income coming in. Even with everything else I'm farming, I still have plenty of crystals left over to do it. But I always try to think about this from other people's perspective and get their perspective. I mean, Div 3 people are having difficulties with this, right? And they're trying to move up into higher levels and to get these characters so that they can round out their teams. I mean, Cat is Cat, Razor Crest is Razor Crest. These are really, really important characters and tunes to get for your roster to really start filling out your roster, especially if you're trying to be competitive in GAC or help your guild in other aspects. I mean, I joke about this, but it's I go into CPIT. I put Kenobi on auto. It's like, okay, 5 mil, 6 mil, 7 mil. Okay, thank you. I'll just go take that and I'm good. So that team, is really super badass, and Cat's a super badass character. But yeah, I mean, they say that div the hard, you can do hard if you're 4 million GP or higher. You ain't going very far. I mean, the box you'll get to be better than if you did normal.
Yep.
And I think this is just a little bit. I think they need to pull it back a little bit on the feats. I think that making it difficult and things of that nature is fine, but not this many feats. Maul's going to be a great character, and he's awesome. I know. I've seen the kit. We did the kit reveal, but I mean, it's the more people who can do the event and feel like they have a chance to beat it, I think is a good thing. When it feels like it's gated, or if it feels like you're trying to make us use crystals, or you're trying to profit from Conquest, and I'm not saying that's the case or not, but it's just perception out there from the community. I don't think that's a good look.
There's no puzzle to it this time. There's no smartness in where you put characters. It basically tells you have to. It doesn't say like 4 Night Sisters and then you can put in a wild card. It basically says it must be 5 Night Sisters. It must be 5 Mandalorians. So it kind of robs you the ability of any actual theory crafting at all. You have that team. And yeah, it's a bit. Look, I think as a game mode, it's definitely taken a step back. I don't think it's taken a step back to the point of where I think it's broken or
it's nowhere near that
level. It's still fine. It's just another way to accrue stuff. I mean, I'm very lucky. I have 3 GLs, which makes moving through it very easily because you pretty much always have one at high enough energy to be able to wipe out an entire kind of phase. So yeah, But yeah, I'll see how I feel. Like I say, I'm going to do it for a week and then see where I am banners wise and what the crates I can get to. If I get to red, I'll aim for red. But if I can't get to red, then I'll be happy with what I get.
Yeah, blame Finn. All right. So we got questions coming in. You guys ready for the questions? Yeah. I'm sure we'll hit these. I'm sure we will hit some more of these subjects as we answer these questions. We just give our initial thoughts, get the conversation going. So let's see what the old community has to say. Now, remember, guys, format. If you want to ask a question, put it into chat. Make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. I use Nightbot as I said. That's the key word that I use to filter out is the word question. You can see some examples of that already being done by people in the chat. So follow that example if you want to ask a question. If you don't, then I'm sorry, I will miss your question most likely. And and a lot of times, sometimes you don't get through all the questions, but it's fine because a lot of times people ask questions maybe you're thinking, but don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to get your questions in and get them in sooner rather than later, because there are times where we are bombarded by questions. Most times we get through all the questions and we're fine, but there have been those moments. I remember, what was it, a couple weeks back where so much stuff was happening, and I think it was after the road ahead. We did an extra stream. It was like 3 hours long. We still didn't get to all the questions. It happens. I'm just throwing it out there. So get your questions in and we'll get them scooped up and then we'll rock and roll. All right, let's see here. First question, and we'll just leave it open to anybody can jump in and ask these. We'll start with Dr. JJ 1984. Another evil doctor like myself. Good. Says, question, anyone beat Sector 4 of Conquest in here? How does that sneak peek of Maul look? I have not got there. I'm in Sector 3. I'm kind of doing mine differently where I'm knocking out feats as I'm doing it. So I'm trying to get each sector completely done. So I'm in Sector 3. I haven't got to Sector 4 yet. I mean, I'll get through Sector 3 today and tomorrow. Then by Monday, I'll start doing Sector 4. But Aldous, Heinz, have you guys hit Sector 4 yet? I mean...
I'm 3 battles short. So yeah, I'll hit it at some point today.
Okay.
I haven't got to him yet.
I know Loki told me he welled out and got to Sector 5 day 1, but that's just what Loki does. That's Loki stuff.
Yep.
He says Sector 5 is cray hard. He says he didn't have any problems really until he got to Sector 5. He says he was like, holy crap. You know, that stuff is really hard. And if it's hard for Loki, he's got like all Relic hates and stuff. I mean, that dude's getting stupid.
Yeah, he's got the toys.
Where are you at with your Conquest, Heinzie?
Yeah, I'm in Sector 3 as well. I did the first 2 sectors, not yesterday, the day before. I knocked both of them out on Monday. So I'm in Sector 3 at the moment. Obviously caught up with the stream and some family stuff. It's the weekend here. So I'll be cranking into Sector 3 and knocking that out and getting into Sector 4 probably in about 8-10 hours from now. So so far, again, I've found it a cool challenge. I got some good data discs along the way so far.
Yeah, the data discs were a nice change too. I like some of the ones that they added. They actually have become they're really good. Yeah, that's a positive.
I got some pretty cool ones. I got Booming Voice again. I've got Deadly Catalyst already as well. I've got a couple of Entrenched in there. So yeah, look, I've gotten a couple of good ones along the way so far. But yeah, I'm really. This is a pretty cool stretch of a roster like Loki's and a roster like mine as well, which is obviously quite broad. And we have a lot of the teams ready to go. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I wasn't wrapped. They cancelled it. That happened when I was asleep. And they relaunched it, and I'm a little bit pissed off. Sorry, that they cancelled it and they're not rolling back the Maul shards that people earned during that cancelled time. It happened again with the Razor Crest.
Yeah.
Back then as well. I'm now behind people that have it, and it might make a difference. Not yet, but it might make a difference later on when it comes to unlocking or getting to 7 stars if they cancel another 1 or 2 down the track.
Yeah.
I would have, I mean, I think that was the thing. I would have rather they gave everybody 10 Maul shards and 10 cat shards and then change the red crate from this one down by 10 or something. Like took, or removed it from phase 3 and phase 4 so you couldn't buy the extra 5 or something. Like I think Heinzie's right. The shards are more valuable than the crystals on the refresh.
100%.
So, I'd rather have, and I jumped into, the reason why I'm almost finished phase 4 is I jumped into it quickly in case this one got pulled away for exactly the reason that Heinzie said, where the first one that they ran it and then pulled it, God love, I see some of my guild in chat, they said, look, hit this hard but I was asleep, so I wasn't able to grab the extra 10 free shards for cat or whatever, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky. I'm looking forward to getting into Sector 4. Obviously, I haven't got the data disc yet for the, well, it's kind of a cheese, isn't it? With gas, he doesn't sit down. So we'll get through that and see if we can pick that up along the way. But yeah, look, it's definitely a pretty cool challenge. But yeah, it's just honestly the one thing that really I was concerned about is that it's getting really grindy. And that I'm not thrilled about.
Well,
at
it's
all.
also becoming a time sink too, because of how much you have to. If you
yeah.
commit, you don't have to do it. I mean, that's the thing; it's a choice. But everybody that's trying to get these characters, they have to, if they want to be competitive, they have to do it right. They have to.
Would you term this type of getting these feats, would you call that the more replayable content or not? Because I personally don't.
The ones that are where you have, where it's like just certain feats, like get attack out of turn, stuff like that. I mean, that's just something you can do along the way. You just have to
Yep.
like think about which teams you're doing and stuff like that, and use. Plus, you have the feats specifically. There's feats that while you're doing it that are part of the sector, and then the ones outside. So I'm always, it's cool to think, okay, what team can I get the most effectiveness here and still be able to do it and knock out this feat out, and again get progress through, through the events and stuff. So for me, those are fine. I don't mind have those problems at all. It's just the ones like I'm doing right now. It's like win 14 battles with the bounty hunters. My bounty hunters are great, but again, once you get them below like around 60 stamina, you can't beat anything in Sector 1 anymore, because even Phoenix goes first, and then you're in big trouble because it'll take 900 turns and you're gonna die. And that's with Django lead. And mine are like Relic 7, Relic 8, 300 plus speed on everybody, and it's like so I've had to think about when I'm doing that, because you can't do it all at once unless you're using currency to get stamina stems, which I refuse to do. So I do like I've been doing 4 battles a day. Like I'll go in the first thing I do in Conquest is like go to Sector 1, go knock out 4 bounty hunter battles, and then I only need 3 today, and I'll be done with that feat. I'm like, yay, I can go do something else. But the other ones that were tied into as you're doing Conquest, and you just have to think about doing it. I think if you really want to make this a challenge, is you do it on the boss fights. The rest of the stuff is something you grind along the way. That would be, because it's already a huge time sink anyway. If you want to have where attack out of turn, how many times you get critical chance, all that other stuff, that's something you do along the way, and you'll knock it out progressively just by natural course, fine. But if you want to make it difficult, make the feats for the bosses not unattainable, like that 700% turn meter one. That's just ridiculous. But make the feats hard there, but you have to really think about it and have to really have the right team and figure out how to use it and get it done. So that's where I think they could do more with the feats, not do the whole damn thing where I have to do 14 battles of the same stupid team over and over again, where they increase the energy, and I'm just frustrated because it's like, God, this is bleh. I don't want to do that again.
There's a difference between challenging and engaging,
right,
and grindy.
Yeah.
There's a real chasm between the two.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's definitely leaning more towards the grindy component side of it. I wish we could get back to the part where we're doing wild and wacky stuff sometimes, just because that's the only place that
that first Conquest with the cooling systems. I mean, we were just laughing and having a good time, and we were just because we were being silly and having fun with it. And I understand you if you're gonna put characters like Maul and Ahsoka, it can't be that easy, right? I mean, that's the balance.
I get it, but that's their decision to put them there, not ours.
I know, but if they are, and I can see their perspective, you want to make it a little bit more of a challenge and things sure, I'm okay with that. But this went. I think they went a little too far. I think they need to pull back a little bit with Conquest. And I'll say this: they are listening, guys. As long as you give good constructive feedback on there, not calling them, ass clowns, or saying
don't call them every name under the sun. And I think
threaten them and stuff like that. They'll listen to your feedback. They want your feedback. They're getting feedback from, of course, content creators, and like what are our thoughts, and so they're trying to balance it out. They so if you want to see changes, trust me, they are listening. As long as you give good constructive feedback and they see that it's overall something the community doesn't like, then we'll see if we can make some changes. We won't see them for the next 3 GAs or the next 3 conquests, but for the one after that, you can have some impact on what happens and stuff. And we've got some more people joining us. Looks like we've got the Smithy D.
All right, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Smithy D.
All right.
Oh, you do.
Master Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we to do?
We say that to each other too much, man. I think we need help, Smithy. What's good? What's good in your world, buddy?
Nothing much. Just trying to slug away through a conquest.
That's right.
Done all the battles. Got all the data discs. Now just going back. Did the bounty hunters one. I've completely done sector 1, maxed it. Now moving on to Sector 2.
Sure.
Yeah, I got some good discs from it. To be
Yeah, the
honest. I
discs
got
have been
some-
really good. I think we can all agree that even the newer ones are really nice. I've been using the Ruthless ones, and they're so good. I really love that one, and I love the leader one too, because that really makes your GL dumb, Belly. If you run into a hard one, you're just like, if you have a GL, you got that leadership one. Oh my god, like SLKR's like poke death, poke death. AoE death, we win. You know, it doesn't matter how hard it is. It's just silly. We also have Van Seal, the Bounty Hunter Whisperer, joining us.
Hi.
Hello. How are you, my friend?
It's early.
Yes, I know. It's early for me. It's really early for you. God bless you.
I feel
sir.
like I was literally just going to bed like 3 hours ago.
I know,
watching
right?
Soundfly.
Yeah,
You were a fan too.
Yeah.
It's only late in the afternoon for him, so he just had afternoon tea.
I like the way everyone's broken. Everyone's watching my GAC, and now they're all 3 hours later. They're all waking up. Going, oh.
Get up here and do this Jedi Academy, boy. I tell you. All right, we got more questions. Let's go. As I said, we'll just have anybody who wants to jump in and answer can. Nathan H says, question. Heinze and Sandfly, I was able to watch part of your GACs. How was your GACs? How did they go? We'll go around the corner, so everybody's doing on the GAC. Heinze, how did your GAC go?
Yeah, I had a good day. I took on another guy from Moore, 2 rounds in a row. And yeah, won by about 25, which was great.
Nice.
He dropped on my sisters.
Sure.
So you know, our boy Hirsch would have been happy. Sisters got some love. So that was all good. But yeah, no, I've had a pretty good run. I've got a very outside chance getting Kyber. I dropped a couple early, a couple of battles early on in the rounds. So I'm going to be right on the edge. I reckon it's going to come down the last 500 to 800 or something. I think.
Oh,
banners. So it'll go down the wire for sure on Monday, but we'll see how we go. But it's going to be close.
Nice. All right. Sandflyist.
It was good. Yeah, I mean, huge fun. Ties a little bit into what I'll talk about that. The guy I was facing put all 3 of his GLs on the front line. Also put gas, DR. Oh god.
Oh, F you defense. Huzzah!
Everything was on defense. But yeah, we cleared. We cleared the top zone. We left one, but he's got a few. He's got GL to go through. So he hasn't attacked yet, so we'll see what that happens. But we great fun. Just on the Watt thing, we talked a little bit earlier on about removing Watt's tech. We're now using Darth Sidious and his lead, whom is my new favorite lead in the game because it's like a generic crit chance, crit damage. So we're using Darth Sidious with Wampa to take out teams. So being able to put added crit damage onto. So we do the purple wizard Wampa, and that's working well. So yeah, huge fun.
All right, Smithy D.
Oh, and GAC.
Yeah, that game mode.
Yeah, I mean Kyber. I've got Kyber, I think, at the beginning of
This round?
This kind of round,
Yeah.
By just deploying. Won every single one but one. And then I've lost this one. I thought I'd have a bit of fun because I'm already in Kyber. And yeah, it didn't go too well. He full cleared me. And I was just like, well, what was the point? I could have used gas on offense instead of putting him on the back wall. Yeah, I did. I put up his name was Hero, so I thought, hey, could this guy be a hero? And if I hide teams behind other teams, will he be able to full clear? And he did, and he literally got like max banners. And I'm just like, wow. You know, I had Revan at the back, I had CLS with 3PO and Baka, and I had gas clones, I had gas Barris, you know, all sorts. And he full cleared, and he on his defense. He didn't really put great teams. They were all relics. They were kind of like orthodox teams. And I checked on squad on the .gg, swag.gg, and it says, oh yeah, this will beat a Finn Poe. You know, they have like a 98%, and I got like wiped out. I was just like, wow.
Well, yeah, that depends. If your Finn's faster than their Finn and you mirror and stuff, yeah, that's a win every time. But if it's not, then you're going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, I was using Boba Fett lead with Han and Chewie.
Oh, really? And you lost to that?
I got destroyed, mate.
Really? I got to see what happened there, man, because that's an easy counter shoot. Did you shoot Purse Brother Finn right off the bat?
No, I went.
That's
for
why
fast.
you lost. Yep. You got to shoot him and kill him, and that's because Han and
Fair
Chewie
enough.
will take him out immediately. With Boba Fett in there, they really crank out the damage. Because I use that counter all the
Fair
time.
enough. Yeah, I went for the guy that puts stays down.
No, you don't care about him. It's Purse Brother Finn. You shoot him with Han and Chewie assist, and then you do it again, and then you're like,
yeah,
oh,
but
it's just
yeah. But I think
Take
he
out
outbunded
handbags,
me
and
anyway.
it's game over.
I know.
Yeah, I'd have probably lost 20, and I think he still beat me by probably 24, 25. So he would have still won even if I did get a first thingy with it, I
Alright.
reckon.
All right, Vince Still, how is your GAC going, my friend?
I'm getting holds with Clone Wars Chewie again.
Hey,
So
that's always a positive.
That's very, very entertaining to watch. 'Cause people are stupid.
Uh,
My first round, I had to fight 5 GLs, which was not fun. And this round, I have to fight another 5 GLs, which is, I don't know how I'm going to do that again, but I should win, I think, because my opponent, I think he's just out of teams. He failed 4 times against my Newt, twice against my Clone Wars Chewie.
what did you say?
Yeah, Newt Django L3 is no joke. And then I don't even think he's bothering with ships. Like, he's just staring at them right now, so. Which no one's cleared my ships. Like, no one's one-shot my ships since 2 weeks ago? Since the Executor basically, or since the Executor game, like, no one's been able to one-shot my ships.
Yeah, that's why
So-
I've changed up my defense. I put Negotiator and
I'm always putting Negotiator and Piet down for the end of time. And, I'm
well,
always
that's
getting
why
them
I'm
only...
I'm putting the other ships down, but I'm keeping Executor because I'm like,
Oh, I'm
okay.
saving. I'm putting it on defense because
No
the
way.
mirror match is a.
Well, if you know you're doing, I don't have any problem. I mean, I've been doing arena enough now because it's nothing but Executor, so I've had plenty of practice with what to do with that fleet now. So
I'd rather
I
just
beat
watch
it.
that Van Seal video. That guy.
I don't know who that is. I wouldn't
with the
listen.
malevolence. I'd
It's
rather
not-
just watch that video and be like, you know what? I'm gonna do
I don't
that.
want to hear. I wouldn't
I
watch
wanna do
that.
that.
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
I had to
Okay.
stop people posting that link in my chat. Yes.
All right. Nathan H. Next question says, has the nerf changed how you use Watt? Yes, it has. I'm sure we all can agree on that one. Anybody? I mean, if you have
I'm still
C,
using with Vader.
you still can.
Yeah.
It's just you can't use them against higher teams, man.
Yeah.
Boy, I learned that the hard
I
way.
haven't actually changed my use of what too much. I mean, I was just using with Sith Eternal for a long
Yeah,
time.
and that's fine, right? He's still
So-
good for that.
Yeah, I mean, all I do is just drop the shield tech, and that's all I've really ever done with him. I know that certainly people used his attack tech in so many different ways for raid counters and things like that. No one's doing that anymore.
No.
So people that were using that and dialed in the raid counter, definitely would be pretty unhappy about it. But my personal use, I just didn't use it. I just always use it with Sith Eternal and drop the shield tech and game on.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I'm leaving mine
Yeah,
on
go ahead.
defense more. I love. I mean, I've always loved tank tech, but like I said, I'm placing mine with. I'm kind of trying to force my opponent to have to use a different counter against tanks now. Like, if you can set it up properly, like the team I'm using right now is Clone Wars Chewie lead with Vandor and Watt, and if you go in with like Veers, Pia, and Dark Trooper, you're not going to do any damage to the team. Like, you need someone that does healing immunity, you need someone that does buff immunity, and you need to be fast. So I like him on defense. Kind of like what Heinz was saying. That's kind of how I was using Watt in the past, but now I'm kind of just using the armor. The armor kind of does the same thing almost with C, just armor and C.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like the tank tech, so probably keep him on defense a little bit more.
Yeah, I've been for armor I've been putting it with the Rayon 3s now. That team's been pretty dynamite with
My Watt used to be on attack, and it was good because you used to be able to move them around where you wanted the additional tactic.
yeah, whenever you wanted
But now we've kind of been robbed of him, so he now sits on defense, putting it on a tank, which is kind of where he sits now. So it kind of reduces the number of floating characters you have. So the variety kind of is maybe taken a little bit out. So I hope if they do drop any new characters, they do give us a more kind of floating character, one that can do a little bit like Watt. Doesn't need to be damage and stuff, but I mean, Thrawn's very much in that category. So someone like that, where you can put in multiple teams. But yeah, sort of change. He's now on defense with a tank.
All right. All right, let's go to the next question. Nathan H. Question: does Hermit Yoda or Watt power up your Jedi Knight Luke better? 1,000%. I'll say this and get everybody's opinion. It's Hermit Yoda. I mean, Master's training on Luke, and he Jedi Luke is just fine right now. I've had no problems using Jedi Luke all over the place in different teams, and he just does what he does, man. And you got to mod him for offense. I mean, I can't stress that enough. You need to have him high offense, but you give him Master's training, and he gets his buff. He is going to knock the crap out of something. He still hits like a just devastating damage, and his AOE does damage now, so that's even better. But I think at the 1,000%, it's because at the attack. What are you going to use? I've never really used Watt with Jedi Luke, but if I was going to say one Hermit Yoda, anybody disagree here on the panel?
No, Hermit Yoda every day of the week. Me, straight up.
All right. Let's see here. Darsign 1972 question: as long as CG keeps putting endgame characters in Conquest, it will continue to be a huge grind. I think CG should release B-level teams instead and go back to epic confrontations. Thoughts?
I think that if they don't have those characters in Conquest, people won't do it.
Right. What's the incentive?
A lot of people don't hate Conquest already.
What's the point? I mean, there should be some sort of I mean, apart from, I mean, it's a huge income stream as far as rewards and gear, and
you get Relic 8 from it too. Yeah, so I mean,
Relic 8, stuff like that. I mean, you have to make this game mode appealing, and it is the newest game mode as well. So they want to promote this hard. This is their new baby. It really is, and they want people to play it. They put a lot of time and money and resources into creating it. So the end game results are always going to have probably some of the best rewards in some of the most recent game modes. Definitely, that's just been proven over time.
Yeah.
So why would this be any different?
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think if CG was smart, they would for all the if you want to, especially if say for any of the game modes, update the rewards, because if you want engagement, have really good stuff in there, because if it just makes sense. If you want people engaged, I mean, the reason people are engaged in GAC is not because of the rewards, it's because they're just they enjoy the game mode as well. But think about it, if they had stuff in there where you can get Relic 8s and another piece of gear, right?
What do people grind territory battles for 5 days or whatever else?
Yeah,
it's because it's the largest crystal income in the game, apart from arena. So the time invested should always give you the best rewards, whether that's shards or whatever else,
right?
So I think that's probably always going to be the case in the short term, that some of the best character releases coming in the game are going to come through Conquest, so we better get used to that.
Yeah.
Plus, it takes longer to achieve it.
Yeah.
To unlock them as well. There's no whaling in it. You got to earn it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had 2 characters at one point for Conquest. Everyone have to make a decision. Yeah. You just have to get. You have to keep them early. You have to keep people invested to do it, because if people just stop doing it, they're just going to stop doing it.
Yeah. I
would take somebody like RSG, like Ranger yourself, to take a note of how many crystals everybody uses to get what crate they get. I think that's going to be an important metric going forward, because when you're just using 50 crystals a day on a refresh, people kind of forget how many you might have used. But 14 days of 150 crystals is quite a lot.
2,100 crystals.
I think good math. I think we're going to have to work on like exactly how much we're using, because if this is going to be the standard way to launch a character in the future, we're kind of going to have to be able to compare this way of launching a character versus other ways. And so I think there's a kind of I'd encourage everyone to keep a kind of note about how many crystals they used, how many refreshes, and what they got.
Yeah, that's one of the things that that I'm trying to reiterate to them. Is like, my point is this: it's like for someone like me, I get one in arena in both. Crystals are not a problem. I don't have a problem with crystals, but I'm not looking at this from my perspective. I'm looking about the lower tier and mid tier players that are trying to move up towards this. They have other things they are trying to use their crystals for, like they have to farm character shards and they have to farm gear and they have other things, and they may not have they may not be getting one in arena like me. I am the exception, not the rule. by leaps and bounds. So, you know, I try to think about this, you know, for the investment, you know, they're trying to, it's one of those things like balancing, you know, they're trying to worry about which characters to farm to get the next GL and getting, you know, and trying to balance the crystal income that they get every day for, you know, I need to farm these characters and I need to farm this gear and I need to do this. And they're using their crystals for that. And then you throw Conquest on top of that, along with everything else. I mean, it's a tough choice. Do they, you know, you don't think 50 crystals, you know, so it's like 50 crystals, but when, you know, someone in the lower tier, mid tier, even upper mid tier, that's a lot to ask. You know, now they have to really rethink, and it slows down the progression possibly because, you know, what if they aren't getting number one in arena? Maybe they're like getting just in the top 20. That's a big difference in crystal income. You know, now they're really having to think about, you know, where they farm and what's their priority. So that's the kind of stuff I try to think about when I think about crystals and stuff. I mean,
I think you just have to do it though, because like with Conquest, yeah, they rotate a new character in every 3 months, right?
mm-hmm.
That's not a whole lot of time if you think about it. And let's say you choose to, like, you know, be a rebel and be like, oh, Conquest, blah blah blah, it's so awful, I don't want to do it. If you fall behind, you don't get Razor Crest, you don't get Cat, you don't get Maul, you don't get whatever else is coming next.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all 3 really important characters, and you kind of need them. Like, there's not really a way around it. Like, you kind of need them, and you kind of going to want to have them. I mean, Razor Crest is already required to get the Executor. Who's to say Cat's not going to be required to get something, or Maul's not going to get required to get something, and then whatever comes out after that.
Yeah, but it's a tough choice if you're working on like a GL. I mean, what do you prioritize? Trying to finish in then that GL or the Conquest character?
I mean, I think it just depends on the GL, maybe kind of like where you're going. But yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I just think falling behind in Conquest is not a.
No, that's a valid point too. I'm just trying to
do.
I would say it's a weird one though, because this is actually gated that you can actually whale on it. You know, if you aren't over 4 million and you can get into hard, then you cannot get these characters.
Yeah.
So
I really,
which I think it's an interesting dynamic, because I thought they were moving more towards allowing newer whales to get what they wanted. But this is now more progression.
Yeah, see, for me, the one thing I do like about Conquest is that it's a free character. All you have to do is just get, you know, it's a grind. You know, it's, you know, we're not having to dole out $300 or have like a bunch of other characters specific, you know, at high, you know, like the Lord Vader requirements. Go look at that, you know, to get Lord Vader. I mean, as long as you're able to participate and knock out the event, you're getting shards. Now, it may take longer to get than others, but it's a free character. You can't argue with that, you know. It's balancing, like, how do you get it, especially when you're trying to promote stuff.
Sorry again, I'm maybe talking too much, but I
no
like,
such thing here.
I like it when they launched the 5-star characters and you got to practice at 5-star, then 6-star, then 7-star. So it kind of annoys me that these are 7-star unlocks, and I know why they're sort of doing that, but you know, I like it when you're able to kind of reach we'll maybe talk about Executor in a minute, but a 4-star Executor, a 5-star Executor. You know, I like the ability to see what the stars do, whereas unlocking right at 7 stars and then the pressure to move them to relics. I prefer the softer unlocks, if I'm honest, and they actually encourage me a little bit more, if I'm honest.
No, I'm the total opposite. I don't want to do that. I've been through that enough where I'm just like, oh, a 5-star gas. He sucks. All right.
I'll use it later when it's 7. I mean, you won't use it.
Yeah.
The majority of people.
It's like Cam. I've got a 6-star Cam. I'm 2 light side TBs away basically from getting him 7-star. I don't use him. I mean, it's just not effective. You know, I mean, I see your point, but for me, especially since I'm, you know, further down the line, I'm like, I hate that. It drives me up the wall.
But I would like to. But the fact of the matter is that they're useless at that 5-star point. That's the problem.
I mean,
you can't farm them any further than Gear 12, and we all know, you know, Gear 12 really is as good as Gear 2 now. Unfortunately,
it would be nice if they changed it, kind of like when they released Hux, where you can Gear 12 them at 3 stars.
Yeah,
just because at least you can give them 6 emotes at that point.
That's right. Yeah,
but I wish they changed that at least. But
a bit tankier, but they have zero. They've already said they have zero intention of doing that. That was a stuff up. And they said the only way that's ever going to happen again is if we stuff up again, because they don't want that to happen. They want you to get it to Gear 12, then put, you know, the good solid stuff on, because they want you to farm it up to that and use the resources to get it that high.
Yeah.
They've said that straight up.
All right. Let's get to another question here. We have Darstein 1972 says, question. My type 2 ideas to fix Conquest that are simple. 1, make the energy refresh quicker. I'm down.
Yes.
2, change feats, but instead of having it to do 14 times with the same team, make it 20 kills instead. Yeah, that could work, because you only have to do the battle with them 4 times.
I mean, at that point, everyone's just going to fight zombie and then be done.
That's if you can get it, because I've not had the best luck finding any Night Sisters. So
Well, they're everywhere in sectors 3 and 4.
Oh well, I'm doing 1 and 2, and I'm like, where are the Night Sisters? Damn it! It's all GR. Crap.
There's only one Night Sister zombie team in hard, and that's the boss.
Yeah, you find it. Yeah, it's true, but it's you find him. It's like, where's Waldo? No, I think those are good changes. I like that. I mean, for me, it's like what I would like them to do is, if you want to increase the amount of energy we need, fine. I think getting it quicker is good. And I also think if you're going to do that, then during Conquest, give us at least 45 additional energy each day, like you do with the other energies, at least once. It doesn't have to be 3 times a day like normal energy, but that would kind of go a long way for the community to be like, okay, yeah, it costs a little bit more, but they're giving me a little bit more to do it, right? I
Just
think
got to
that's
balance it out a bit more. That's all.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it. It's not, if you know, it just needs to be a little bit more give and take.
Yeah,
I
agree.
think that everyone would be okay about that. It seems, from a perception point of view only, and it's only perception. That's it. That it's all been a bit of a one-way street over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And we're not a fickle bunch, but if we feel like that we're certainly getting a little bit hard done by, you're going to know about it within reason. And that's fair. But I think that we all expect that certainly CG are going to get more wins than not, than the player base. And that's fine. I think we have to accept that. But when it's all one-way traffic and it doesn't seem to be too much back, simming the assault battles is great, but that doesn't take me long because most of it I can do on auto myself anyway. It's not really the end of the world. It's probably just not enough back the other way.
Yeah.
Considering everything else you've done. I just think that we just need to balance it up a bit more. That's all. And if we do that, I think that all of us would be fine with that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And these are the concerns that are being addressed to CG, and I know they're listening, guys. So just as I said, all this stuff, just keep doing it. Just realize change is slow.
100%.
Change is slow.
It can't happen overnight, but it will happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I don't think, and this is the thing, I don't think any of us here or any of us want to sit around and go, let's just rip them a new one and let's bitch about them. No one wants that.
No,
it's not productive, and there's no benefit in that, guy. There isn't. Right?
But I think that the thing that we all do well.
Luke.
I mean, you got your Luke. That's all, Smith.
Yeah, they nerfed him. So
He is still.
He didn't get nerfed.
He is
disgusting.
That dude is gross. Are you kidding me? Mine
They
destroyed.
fiddled with him. They fiddled.
Well, they just took away his.
They made him
chance
scarier.
Yeah, he's actually scarier now, man. That dude is gross.
They didn't give him a rebel tag.
He does not.
Oh, he just needed a rebel tag.
God help us if that happens.
If he gets a rebel tag, he gets a scoundrel tag. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, neither of those
I'll
gonna
go with
it. But no, what I always say is it is fine to be angry, and it is fine to vent, and it is fine to do all that stuff, but also come up with solutions. It's one thing to say what's wrong, but I always ask, okay, what's your solution? You say yada 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 is wrong. Great. Yeah. It's good to say that this is not working and things of that nature, but then I always try to ask people, what's your solution to this? So that's the important part of it too. And also I like to ask this question: what do you like about this certain product? Is there anything you like at all? So it's about just being fair. I mean, trust me, we all here on the panel let CG know when we think something's bad, but we also try to be fair and say, like I did with Conquest. I'm like, these are things I think are positive, and these are things that I think are really poopy. So. And then we offer solutions, so you can do all that.
Yeah,
I think it's
the
important.
feats weren't so grindy. Then 20 energy is easy.
That's my big problem with it.
Yeah, if they were global, if it was global or bounty hunters kill certain amount of characters, it wouldn't be so bad. But having to go back at 20 energy per pop, doing 40 bounty hunter, 14 is it 14, 15?
It's 14,
wins. Yeah, it's like, wow. And you can't really use those bounty hunters on majority of those teams. You know, so you're gonna have to just go in, find the one that
No,
No,
just
they're trash.
Yeah, just for the first,
Yeah.
I just picked the first battle in each one. It's like, okay, for the first one for me, it's like a Phoenix team. I'm like, okay, let's go beat this 4 or 5 times a day. And then like in Sector 2, I've got like a Imp Trooper team that I use for like, I did that for the Rebel Fighter one, and I'm going to use that for the Night Sister one. It's like, okay, I'll just use these teams here, a couple at a time each
Did
day.
you do your Rebel Fighter one?
Yeah, I'm about to finish it up. I just have to do, I think, 5 more
'Cause
kills.
you can
Well, yeah,
put
so
a video out, didn't they, with the you do it on the Night Sisters at the end and just keep targeting
you
zombie.
can do that. I if you want. The other one I do is I got an Imperial Trooper one first battle. I think Sector 1 or Sector 2 first battle, and Kara stuns them all pretty much. So I just go in there and just constantly just throw her grenade with the team. I go Luke lead. But I go like Luke with Han, and then 3 Rebel fighters you can with Kara, or two of them whoever you want, but like Kara, and she's just constantly stunning their ass over and over. You get I've knocked it out quick. I just just focus on other feats.
Yeah, because on the Night Sisters you can do it in one battle.
Yeah,
just do all 40 of it in one battle.
Sure, if your Rebel fighters are up there that way, because these boss fights are no
true.
joke.
That's true. Yeah.
All right.
Can I give huge props to Darth Sign? He's done exactly the right thing by giving the solutions that he would do.
Yeah.
And that this is what we need, is people saying. I would personally, I'd like to see the modeling if this was 7 days. If it was more of a race and less of a grind. I'd be interested to see what the crystals and how far people might get in 7 days. Would be something that I might be interested to see what the modeling looks like on. I know that's a huge change, but that's something that I'd be interested in looking at.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I would actually be curious to see it myself. Now that you brought it up, like, how would that work? Okay. All right, next question. Qui-Gon Jinn question. Best way to farm bronzium wiring relic materials. I'm pretty sure I get all my stuff from Kyrotech farming, because you get the green and the blues from that. Yeah. Either one. I mean, whether you go light side or dark side, depending on which one you're farming. Those green and blue materials are out of there, but as what you do. And then for me, I know I think I use Ugnaught for the blues, for that, the bronzium wires. I just create the piece of gear over and over and over again, and then I turn it in, and that's what I use for bronziums. I do the same for the other ones too. I mean, the Kyrotech farm, getting the Kyrotechs themselves out of those sucks. But you do get all that secondary stuff that you can slice. Does anybody have a better way for or things like this? Is just like the shower drains. I use that for, I've got ones where I can just make shower drains for the one piece as well. I mean, there's certain nodes that do stuff.
The first bit I'm running out of occasionally, and light side 1D gives a huge amount. So I don't know exactly which bit that.
It's the second tier. The bronze and wires are the second tier, so you know.
Yeah, well, second tier I have loads of, because like from what you're talking about. But I would say that for the first ones, light side 1D pays a huge amount of grindable stuff, and yeah, so that kind of is why I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the one that Kyrotech one, is that it gives you basically for each of them, well, for the first two anyway. I mean the circuit boards, and I think it's the bronziums. Now the chromium transistors, I can't remember which one I use that for. I'd have to go look, but I know for the first two it definitely helps. So hope that answers your question. Darstein 1972 question: if getting a GL Leia meant you have to relegate your Ewoks, would you be open for that? No, I would be angry.
You know what's really
I
funny,
hate the
Ranger?
murder bears. I don't want to relegate their ass.
I support.
You son of a.
What's really funny, Ranger?
What's up?
I actually have murder bears on my farming to-do list in game right now. I kid you not.
Nice.
Yeah, they're Gear 12. I haven't touched them since 3PO unlock.
I don't want to do it.
It's kind of one of those niche teams that I kind of wanted to do anyway, and just never got around to it. And I thought, you know what?
No,
yeah, I'm going murder bears, man. I'm sold on them.
I'd rather.
I'm going after.
I'd rather eat glass. I'm sorry.
I'm saving all the gear in case I need some of the gear, obviously for Vader or for Maul. But once that's done, they're going up, baby. They're next.
Do it.
Yeah.
this ties into another question that I would be interested in CG giving us a heads up on whether they'll change the GAC matching. The top 80 characters now is a little bit broken because I think almost everybody, maybe Division 2 and up, has 80 relics. So we're able now to put stuff in without it affecting our matching. So I expect them at some point soon to change it to 120 characters, maybe. So I think some of the decision making comes a little bit into what they might do there. So
all right. Plagueheart says question: Sector 5 Deathmark isn't updating under DR. Do you think that's a bug or a? I can't.
Wait, what?
Is that a bug or WAI? Oh, okay.
working as intended.
No, I think
No.
that there's something wrong with that, and I think they're taking a look at it right now. It's been brought to their attention.
There's still a few bugs in this Conquest.
There's a few little bugs, yeah. So they're looking at that right now.
There's still a few more. There's definitely still a few more.
Yeah, I think that's
working.
definitely a bug. That should not be that.
Yeah.
That should not be doing that. So yeah, that's being looked at. So yes.
What they should do is pull it down. I got all my cat shards, and they should restart it.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah, at this rate, I'm gonna have them all unlocked.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
refriend my crystals. Let me keep my cat
All right,
shards,
that's enough out of you.
And,
You're very bad,
that's
man.
my thoughts.
You're
on
very
it. Just
very
restart
bad.
it.
No, don't listen to
Restart
Smithy.
it.
No.
Just restart it.
I even I have mall shards. I'm like, nah. Let's not do. I don't want to do this again. Dalton Miles question: do you have defensive formation data discs? Oh yes, I do. It says makes gas impossible to get through his protection. Never sits down. Protection regained with out of return attacks. Yeah, that is a really really nice data disc because you don't think about it, but with getting that protection back the way that it's set up. It's nice, man. Put a couple of those things on. He's not joking about gas, but just other teams too, like Rebels. Rebels become sick with that data disc. They just cannot die. I mean, I was doing a feat the other day, and I'm like, damn. I was getting worried because my Rebels kept getting hit. I'm like, they're not dying. This is nice. They keep regenerating their health and
Yeah,
protection.
you got the leader ability one.
Yeah, I've got that
every
one
time
too.
You do an ability.
Oh
Everyone
god,
assists.
I love it. Yeah.
We spoke to Loki last night, and he's been having a lot of fun in Sector 4 with that data disc. It's been mental.
The leader one is so nice, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It's
He's on
so-
gas.
oh,
He
God.
just does not sit down, and they just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. I think he said he did the mall one. It was a 6-minute battle. He was never going to die, but it took 6 minutes to actually finally take out that boss. So we had a bit of a chat about that last night and a bit of a chuckle.
That's too funny, man.
Yeah.
Yes, defense formation. I really like that data disc. It's a lot of fun. What else? Theresa's question: how much longer do you think it'll be before they buff back up Vader so he's not suckier than sucky? That's being looked at as well. I can tell you that is definitely being looked at. So I don't have an answer for you. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they are collecting data, I think, about how Vader is operating now. So more.
If I can make a suggestion,
Yes, make a suggestion.
it's pretty simple. Just halve his damage output against Galactic Legends and leave him the way it was before for everyone else.
1,000% agreed.
That's it. That solves the problem. We still get to throw the saber. He's an iconic villain in the cinema universe, let alone Star Wars, right?
Yes.
So he should be the biggest, baddest guy when he throws that saber. He should be wrecking fools. And if you don't want it to work against Galactic Legends, which, let's be honest, that's the whole idea between the latest reworks and the adjustments, right? Just don't let it work on Galactic Legends. Damn simple. And let us have our fun with other teams if we want to throw the saber and it works. It's not rocket science, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was my suggestion too. That's such a I wish that was the case. Oh God. Psychodromes.
Is that too simplistic? Or
No,
not?
it's absolutely. I think the simplest. Sometimes, most of the time, the simplest solution is the best, Heinzie. So yeah. Psychodrums, my boy, says question: what do you think are the best data discs to use with undergeared Night Sisters to boost them enough to Sector 2 feat? The ones I'm using is, of course, offense is always nice, but the defensive ones are really nice because the Night Sisters, it really makes it a lot better. I like the leadership one because it just makes Talzin getting that plague out there so much nicer and do so much more damage. That's a really nice one for the Night Sisters. The Ruthless ones are really nice too, because if you're
Yeah.
buffing the offense capability of your team, especially Night Sisters, especially if they're Relic, I mean, Asajj starts going ham. Her and Spirit start going bananas on characters and stuff. I mean, those are some of the ones I recommend. Anybody else got some that they would throw in there?
But largely depends what your Night Sisters are. I mean, if you're running a
True.
sort of Death Storm
He says
team,
under geared. I mean, so I'm assuming these like
You know,
11, 12 or something like that. Or
I
maybe
mean,
12,
well-
barely relic.
then you've got the ramping damage on Asajj, you've got the ramping health on Daka.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of these are going to be a nightmare. So it's almost just matching the data discs to your specific Night Sisters.
It's kind of hard to answer, isn't it? Because everyone's got different data discs. But I mean,
Yeah.
even booming voice would be good. The leader uses an ability, everyone assists. Well, that's just going to keep them rolling as well. Deadly Catalyst adds 40% health. Health's good for Night Sisters. We know that. Shield penetration, and offense. So some of the higher end ones are pretty brutal as well. Could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Skeleton says, question, have we confirmed if the stats from the Ruthless data card stack? If I use multiple Swiftness cards and I'm able to get 40% turn meter? I think they stacked. Is
Yeah,
it
they're
in there?
stacked.
Yeah.
Everything stacks. Everything stacks in Conquest, unless it says otherwise.
Yeah. Yee.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go.
Check them out.
Delete. All right.
Stacks on stacks.
Mm-hmm. All right, Darth. Oh well, you know what? We're past the top of the hour. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, folks. Keep your questions coming in. Subscribe if you haven't already. All that fun stuff in a bag of potato chips, and then we'll let these guys pimp their stuff at the top of the just before we end at the top of the hour. And a reminder of a quick little break, and then I'm going to go right into my GAC here. As soon as we get done with Jedi Academy, we'll wait for Thane. I'll have to tag his ass. He's probably asleep. Like, I don't want to get up. And then we'll go do GAC. We'll have a break, and then we'll be doing D&D tonight. So keep your questions coming in. Get them in sooner rather than later. Remember, we're only going to the top of the hour. So we continue on with a question for Heinze from Darsign 1972. It says, for Heinze,
Hey,
for
Yes, sir.
Heinze, if you
Yes,
could
sir.
change Conquest and make it challenging yet fun, what specific changes would you make? Well, the floor is yours, Heinze.
Oh, interesting. I like it. That's a pretty cool question. I like how they're changing the bosses and stuff. Finally, we're getting some variety. I reckon that's really, really good. I think some of the data discs, we need to do some sort of reflection where there is a fun element to them. Something that's irregular, something that we don't always do in the game. Because a lot of the stuff we're doing in Conquest now is stuff that we do all the time in, territory battles, territory war, GAC. Let's be honest. So things that I personally enjoyed were things like when we were using data discs previously and you were using, like an Empire lineup that just kept going over and over and over and over again and stacking up all the Emperor's Trap to like 700 or 1,000. That was fun and hilarious. Like it really was. I thought that was great. Possibly even a node where they give you, the lone characters that are already maxed out that are Jawas or murder bears that are maxed out or something that is a give me node, but a bit of fun along the way that you generally won't get to use. Chuck in a cup that's, does 1 million damage or something, just something a bit silly and crazy. Not everywhere, but just a couple of elements here and there, I personally think would actually be quite entertaining. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but
Anybody else
there's
want-
certainly a lot of ways they can make it more fun than it is, no doubt.
Yeah, anybody else want to jump in on that? You can.
Shut
Okay.
it down. Give us all the shards. give
Okay,
everyone
you,
max
you,
rewards.
you're on timeout, young man. I've had enough of you.
Give
I
everyone
swear,
max
Smith, if
rewards.
you say that one more
That's our
time, I'll
next
turn
one.
this goddamn car around.
I think you guys are just going to disagree with my definition of fun, so I'm not going to say anything.
No, say it. We want
No,
your
tell
opinion,
us.
man.
Go.
Shit. What's...
So the one thing, okay, so this is something that probably only beginning players probably remember, but do you guys remember in Galactic War?
Oh,
when you
yes.
went
How...
through
Oh,
against
my
the
God.
different teams? They were actually people's teams.
Yeah.
How cool would that be to see that in Galactic Conquest?
I'd love to. You know what I'd love to see? I'd like to see a team set from my guildmate. Something like that where you're actually taking on one of your guildmates in a battle head to head with their stats locked in or something before Conquest. That could be fun. Because then you're going to
Yeah.
laugh and joke about, I took your team down in
Because
Conquest. It
one of my
sucked.
biggest
Like,
gripes about
that could be
Conquest
fun.
is just the whole I think the foundation of Conquest is probably one of their best inventions in my opinion, because you can always build on it.
Yeah.
But when I have to fight, when I'm getting options of do I want to fight Gas or Phoenix, and I get that same option 3 times in a row, I'm just gonna be fighting Phoenix 3 times in a row, and I'm like, it's kind of boring.
Can't even bother changing the teams out. It's too much hassle.
Yeah.
Right, but like, could you imagine if like it was actually other people's real teams?
That'd be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah. Or it was Gas or Phoenix. You don't know which you're going to get. You pick the node, and you get one or the other. But yeah, I think it's a shame because he talked about this being able to build on this game mode, and it just seems a little bit static. And I think a little bit more variety, a little bit more of a curveball would be exactly the
teams have gotten a little better, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah, they got better this time, but it took them 3 or 4 to change it. It
7.
might be, 7. Okay, fair enough. I can't count that well. But yeah, but that'd be my, I think a little bit more fluidity. I'd love it if they gave me Maul, actually. If you want me to strive to unlock a character, give me that character, let me play with it, and let me see how amazing he is. And oh my God, then I'll try and get the red crate.
Yeah, give me a taste.
Yeah, give me a taste.
Well, the first one's free.
But don't let me face it on defense. I face it on defense. Give me a go. That would be exciting. Give me Cat in phase 4 and Maul in phase 5, and I'd strive to get there.
I just found something else that's really broken in Conquest right now.
Did you?
I have one link out with C.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, so C was doing his link just now. I'm fighting a Night Sister team.
Yeah.
Asajj counters, and C never got to link his second target.
That's ridiculous.
Just sitting here with one link, I'm like, this is weird.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, they need to fix a couple bugs, obviously. But
yeah,
that's weird.
Someone in chat's a good one. Built-in deployable cooling systems just for Sector 1. See, that would be hilarious. That'd be fun. Muck around with it, but it's not going to really affect your end game result. That would, your rewards. I think that would be great because everyone's going to clear Sector 1 if they're at that level anyway in hard mode. The majority of people are going to be able to at least clear that.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Would be hilarious.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
love that. That would be great.
Yeah, works for me. Let's see here. Next question. We did that. XO, my man, says questions. How are the executor counters coming along?
I have another video I'm working on, but it's taken me a minute because there's a lot. There's a lot to have to explain, but
they're not easy.
Yeah. Well, let's just say this. The video I'm working on right now, I'm gonna explain the fight as if it was a raid. Like there's literally 5 phases to beating the executor.
That's crazy.
There's RNG in every phase.
Yep.
But it's this is the end. This is the new big daddy of fleets. Like it's not gonna be easy to kill. And
no.
We don't even know when we're gonna get the light side equivalent to it. If there is going to be one.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Oh, boy.
In an ideal world without knowing anything, I don't think they'll bring out another fleet. I think they could bring out finally maybe something along the lines of Red 5 that would make the Akbar fleet just OP. That would be great. I mean, that would be
something to fight it. I don't know if it's going to one-shot the Executor, but yeah, something to fight it a little bit, something to help the Rebels fight it. Because there's so much going for the Executor right now, and I don't know if you guys heard that interview between Cubs and Crumb and one of the other devs, but they're strongly suggesting, they didn't confirm anything, but they're strongly suggesting they're working on other bounty hunter ships.
Yeah.
So who's to say those are going to make the Executor even better? So it's like, we'll see.
Yeah. We're probably expecting something along the lines of the Punishing one, isn't it?
Yeah, could be that. I mean, they could do Zam ship. They could do Dengar ship. They could give Django. They could give Django Slave one if they wanted to.
Yeah, you need a requirement for I mean, you need him as a requirement anyway along the way, so it makes sense
Yeah.
to give him a ship as well. That would be
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah,
cool.
that's a really good point where it would then tie into the next GL being Boba Fett with the show. They're
Yep.
going to capitalize on that. It's going to be a GL Boba Fett, Slave One Django as a requirement. His ship makes perfect kind of sense to a requirement for a GL Boba Fett from The Mandalorian or a show, ain't it? You know, where he's in his new shiny kind of like pastel kind of armor.
I just want a knee rocket Boba. Who doesn't want that? Like seriously, who doesn't want a knee rocket Boba in their lineup? That would be incredible.
But yeah, with the Executor, you got the main course. They're gonna give you your desserts now to go with it. Is pretty much. It would be ridiculous if they didn't. You know, anyone that 7-starred it, they're gonna now start giving the side orders to it. Like, well, you've got the main juicy part of the game there. Now here's your DLC, and they're gonna start probably, I would say, add ships. You know, to make them better in mirrors. If you haven't got it, mirror's gonna be a lot harder, or what it is currently.
R9 your Piet.
Yeah.
I think the Executor might have been one of their most successful launches recently. From what I can see, the number of people that went for it and how influential it is. I don't have it yet, so I'm two tapping. I'm two tapping in GAC, which is working well. But I do think with the success of the Executor, I think we'll see another capital ships along soon. Especially with removing. So I would invite everyone to make sure you've got that prestige, make sure you've got the ship currency. I'd stick it in the back pocket if I was you.
The problem is that we don't need any more capital ships. We need actual ships to fill them out. That in my mind is something that really needs to be addressed sooner rather than later.
And I blame Finn. All right, let's see here. N.R. Wilson, Mr. Wilson says, question, I put Rey with Han and Chewie on defense. Is there a better defensive team for Rey? Yes, there's two teams that I love on Rey. High offense Rey with either Hermit Yoda and R2, or you can go Hermit Yoda and Armor on defense. Now, if they have JMK, I'm sorry, that beats it. But anything else, it's a nightmare. And even then, that could be a nightmare if your R2 is faster than their cat, because you get the stealth on Rey. I've seen people struggle with their JMK with that team because Rey hits hard, and it's a nightmare for C counters, because even high HP ones, you get Master's Training. Let's say you go R2 and Hermit Yoda, you get the number crunch, you get the Master's Training. She's super ramped up. Same thing with Armor. You get her the ingots. You know, you got to run fast characters with it, but those things. Anybody else got a suggestion with Rey? I mean, there's Curse the Purse Brothers I've seen people talk about, but for me, that's where I put my money on.
No, I'll back up your answer about Armor. I've fought a couple of Reys with Armor. I think it was like Armor and like another tank, like L3 or IG-11. Anyways, Armorer is like at first doesn't do much, but you get those Beskar Ignates on Rey, and oh man, it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare to get her health and protection down because she's constantly just recovering it, and Armor makes a huge difference on that team.
Agree.
My Rey's always an offense, to be honest. The way that her kit works, because she's on defense, she always crosses her swords. You can always beat a Rey on defense with a Rey on offense, even with armor. So I keep my Rey for offense, and Rey will go through pretty much anything. And just because you have the ability when to proc the cross swords. So for me, she's quite an offensive character. I know people like putting on defense. I know she's OP in 3v3. But yeah, for me, she's always an offense.
All right. Let's see here. Buzzsaw says, question, do you still remod Farina or just use your standard mods from GACTW? That's me. I mean, once I have my character set, I pretty much... For Arena, even for my Arena team, like it's the Kenobi team, that's the same modding I'm going to use for GAC. Now it could be different for the rest of the guys, but for me, I don't really do much changing for that. Or TW. You know, I mean, my teams are set for a certain way in GAC and other places. So once I get my team set, I'll do that. Now, sometimes things happen, characters change, or dynamics change. I may remod here and there. But what about you guys? I mean, for me, I don't do much mod. Other than the only time I do is light side TB because it's the cam mission. But other than that, it's like bleh, no.
Yeah, kind of depends on the guild you're in as well, Ranger.
Yeah.
To be fair, some guilds have requirements to do a lot of mod changing, and some don't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think a lot of that really comes down to how you want to play your game style and what type of guild you're in as to what the requirements are. I'm in a new one I moved to, a couple months ago, and it is quite mod intensive, moving from time to time depending on what's required and what's needed. There are certainly other guilds out there that really couldn't care less.
Yeah.
So it's tricky to say. Moving specifically for arena, normally if you've got them dialed in, as Ranger said, if you tend to have them dialed in more often than not, you're probably not going to move them too much unless there's a specific reason to do so.
Yeah, agree 1,000%.
Ranger, I think Marwell has a question coming up, which is also relevant about changing squad arena. And I don't know if you want to handle that as well, but yeah, I don't move mods. I don't move mods at the moment, but if they were to start changing squad arena so that it wasn't shard based or something, so that it wasn't, I think there's a lot of shard chats at the moment, obviously, and therefore a lot of arena shards are kind of not fixed is the wrong word, but they are organized. I think then people might want to change it if it became more competitive.
Good point. All right. Epic fails his question. Now guilds can't do hard rank or are really falling behind, and Conquest harder to get Relic 8. Do I need to leave my guild or merc? Also for a friend, if you're a guild leader and leave, what happens? Also for a friend, if you're go ahead.
I was gonna say, I kind of want to take the lead on this question.
Go for it.
Right now, so they said in the road ahead, Relic 9 is supposed to come out in August. Obviously, it didn't happen, so it's probably getting delayed. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If you have not gotten Relic 8 from the rank, or if you don't have the secret down, you are a little bit behind, I think. But I still think there's time to catch up because we still don't know where Relic 9 is gonna go. We still don't know how it's gonna be achieved. I would say wait to see where Relic 9 is before you make a decision. But if you're a guild lead and you are not getting the C-pit down, I would say either your easiest option would be bring in mercs. There are plenty of people that love to merc.
Yep.
I am not against. I can't merc because I have a crazy schedule, but I am super pro mercing. I think it's great for everybody because everybody gets a bunch of stuff. Mercs is your first option. Your second option would be look at a guild merger, possibly, or even possibly make your guild join like an alliance of guilds. That way they can send people to help you. But in terms of being a single player, thinking about leaving your guild, that decision, I would say just wait to see what happens with Relic 9. And then I would say if you want to leave your guild to go somewhere else, then I would say it's probably the best bet. But usually it's better to keep things in-house long term.
Can I also elaborate on the last part of his question,
Sure.
the more leaving, because I actually did exactly that. I was a guild leader for about 3 or 4 years, and only recently I actually stepped out as guild and I've moved to a new guild. So I've basically done what you're thinking of. If you do go down that track later on, and it sounds like obviously the issue is not so much personnel, it's the coordination and getting your actual members up and running and tuned in to complete it. That's how I read it. So yeah, mercs is the best way to go, as Van Seal said, because they'll knock it out for you. You just got to collect tickets, you get them in and out and done. But if you decide that you need to, if you've had enough and you're burnt out, and I know how hard it is being a leader, it is really, really taxing. If you've had enough, speak to your officers. If you've got any that are reliable there, and explain the situation and tell them, look, this is where I'm at. This is how I feel. And I can't continue to do this, because that's what I'm hearing from that question.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then find out if someone's willing to step up. And if they are, hand it over as you leave. It's that simple. If not, and everyone wants to disband, and I've seen that happen as well, hang around for at least a territory battle and let everyone know in a message straight up. This is the situation. This is what we're doing, and make it 100% clear and concise. So everyone's aware on what's happening. That then gives them time to find a new home as well. So you don't have people out in the lurch when it comes to another upcoming guild event. They got time to work out a plan for themselves if it gets to that point.
And I'll come out to admit and said I actually left my guild for the Sea Pit. The guild I was previously in, I told them, let's try to work towards it. We had the teams. We had the players. We just didn't have the coordination. We had too many different time zones. This was before they nerfed it. And my guild went a whole 6 weeks after it launched without even attempting it. Not even an attempt. So because we didn't even attempt it, I was like, all right, I got to look for something else. And I was happy with my decision. I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm happy with the amount of R8s I have. So,
Yep. Find something that you want to do as a player yourself. And quite often, as a guild leader, you tend to be concerned about everyone else and what's going on around you, and not enough on yourself. And that's a great character to have. It's pretty selfless. It's amazing. But you do need to take a step back and think, okay, well, what do I want? Because you could be holding yourself back, and you might be a bit disappointed that you didn't do something sooner. I'm not saying you need to do that though. It's your call.
All right. Darsign 1972 question: any thoughts on when Lord Vader will drop? I've been ready for over a week now, and I'm getting antsy. It should drop. I think we're gonna get the kit reveal. Yeah, it's gonna be soon this week. I think they were waiting until after Labor Day weekend, and makes sense. They'll drop the kit, and then we'll know when he's going to drop. I think it'll be the announcement's coming this week. I would be shocked if it was delayed. There could be a reason why it was delayed, but I mean, yeah. Anybody else think differently, or?
I think Conquest might have delayed it.
That might have been a thing. Yeah. Okay. Next question again from Darsign. Question: so, who has their jobs ready to go for the next Galactic Challenge? Spoiler alert: it's not me. LOL. Not this guy. Not me. That's not happening. So, there'll be a lesser box for me, and I just accept it and I just move on. I don't care. I got other stuff. I'm working on this character. What's his name? Oh yeah, Lord Vader. That I've got to spend like 400 card text on each of the Bad Batch, 400 Corbantes for Tusken Raider, which I'm done, 400 gold furnaces. It takes like 8 of the characters up to Relic, Relic 0. I mean, it's I've got other things on my mind. I've been working on gear and stuff for Josh so I can beat the Galactic Challenge.
I've got mine ready.
I love it. I love it.
Scavengers at Relic 7, Nebbits at 5, Engineers at 5, Dutchers at 5, Jawas at 4. I'm good, thanks. Bring it. Let's go.
You guys enjoy yourselves.
Best thing I've heard all day.
Let's go. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
I know, right? Want to know how I got these scars? Oh boy!
It's called theory crafting.
Sure. Let's go with that. The old theory crafting. Say, all right. Let me see here. What else in 3 question? If they redo the matchmaking, should lifetime banners also be a factor? So people in the 600k range aren't facing people with 900k banners.
Lifetime banners don't mean what they used to.
No, they don't really. They really
don't.
I
remember there was one semester for school, I can do any gax. I just couldn't. So there was a lot of times I just clicked my free rewards and I was done. Hence, I have a lower lifetime banner. It just means you played a lot. That's it. And, someone could be in a slump. Someone could be on a hot win streak. I think the matchmaking should go with your current wins and losses. Simple as that. Because I've had some pretty bad matchups where I was like, all right, I'm 0-4 in this season already. And I got paired up with someone who's undefeated.
Yeah.
Why is that happening?
Yeah. Matchmaking needs some attention still. It's much better when they change the divisions. Let's be clear. I mean, it used to be horrific.
Oh, yeah, much better. That's been a good change.
Since they changed the divisions, that was something that they got 100% right. And a lot of us had been arguing for a long, long time that needed to happen. But yeah, I think the matchmaking still is definitely better. Is it right on? No. I think it almost needs to include more along the lines of even more like your mod counts these days, things like that. That's pretty important. We've come up against some pretty nasty mod matchups, which in a lot of cases don't give you a great advantage. You're actually already behind the 8 ball before you start. So mods are probably something that maybe need to be factored, or relics even, either of those two. They're pretty important these days too.
For me, the banners is more on the first round where we all got an auto set. So I wish there was a sort of an opt-in, opt-out button that people could click just to receive the rewards. If people are just joining to receive the rewards but have no intention of actually doing anything, I wish we'd give them a button, because at the moment they're incentivized to join because they get something for free, but then incentivized to do nothing. So they are damaging other people's enjoyment of the event. And I think one of the questions about the tickets, obviously these people are at 300k or whatever they are, that would help filter them out, but I think there's also different ways. So anything like, was it Smithy D said, anything like that will look at either your win-loss ratios or something to weed out people that aren't actually playing or who are permanently on defense. Yeah, just, just kind of make the matches more even and more fair.
Yep.
I think if you auto deploy, your account should get flagged, and everyone that auto deploys at least once, they get put in their own bracket. That way, like by week 2 or 3, you shouldn't be running to any auto deploys. And if somebody does, and that's technically their first time, enjoy a free win, I guess, later down the road.
Yeah. I don't.
Sorry, you go. No, you go, bro. You go.
I was going to say that if somebody auto deploys at me, I'd rather face my defense. Like, just give me my defense in a mirror, and I get to fight my teams, but give me the 2,000 banners or something for winning. Give me a better mechanic there so that I have a better experience. I think the auto-deploy people are robbing the other people. And I think they're the bits that are kind of ruining, especially the first week. But yeah, when you go, Heinzie?
Yeah, it could be worse, though.
I think auto sets is something that really is quite frustrating. Something they urgently need to fix is if you come up against an auto set, Galactic Legends shouldn't be auto set within the defense, especially up front. And the reason I say that is really simple. If you have laid your defense down and you come up against 5, especially more now after the changes, where it's legend versus legend, right? And if for some reason you come up against one, they've set 5 up the front because it automatically sets 5 in one zone up the front, and you don't clear that, you're actually disadvantaged because you might not open fleets if you don't actually beat them with 5, right? If you've set 1 or 2 on the back, you've got nothing else to take these guys out now if you've got them on defense. Do you know what I mean? So I think that if you get an auto set, Legends shouldn't be. The rest of the characters, by all means, put them in an auto set, but Legends shouldn't be set, because you shouldn't be disadvantaged by setting teams on an auto clear. You should be able to get that.
Yeah.
That to me is something that I think needs to be fixed really quickly.
Well, what they should do is just get rid of the auto set, and the person gets max banners for somebody.
Yeah, I don't mind the auto set. The auto set's fine.
Yeah,
it's just that people doing the right thing are actually losing banners before setting teams. That makes no sense to me. It just makes zero sense. So
give the person that didn't auto set the max banners, and the other person goes home with nothing. Well, they'll still get what they are, but that person
they'll still get the win.
Get to try and...
But they won't get a full clear, and that could hurt them down the track.
Right? Because you're not going to get feats. You won't get feats if you don't battle. Correct.
All right. Next question. This is again. We'll continue this conversation from Ken McDonald. He's a good Canadian guy. Says, GSC is arguably the best game mode. Besides matchmaking, what would you change to make it even better? Hi from Canada, he says. Hey, Canadian. Hey, what's going on there? Good maple syrup. Besides the matchmaking, some of the stuff we mentioned, anything else for GAC?
In Div 1, I would add another ship for offense and defense.
Yep.
Sure.
That works for me. I'm good with that.
And that's it.
At some point in the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to need another zone. We're going to need three areas, having just one front, one back, 5 on the front. It's getting too many in one zone.
All right. Stonewall question. What is shield penetration? Well, that's when you have a shield and you penetrate it.
Shield penetration, I actually know what that is.
Isn't it basically it bypasses the shield and hits the health?
It's basically a different version of armor pen, but it's specifically catered towards Conquest.
Yeah.
It's literally the same thing. It's just more for Conquest because it actually is better than armor pen. But
doesn't it like bypass 30%? So you've got that.
I think
you've got that mod. Where
yeah, it's 30%. Yeah.
So it'll do 30% to their max health.
It
to the health.
It does by 30% of the armor.
Better. Yeah. You have a shield, and then you penetrate it with something.
Basically, what Ranger says.
Yeah. What you use to penetrate it? That's up to you.
The other feats, where when someone goes below 100% health, if you've got shield penetration, you'll hit the health. It'll basically do the normal damage to their, to their shield, to their protection. But the shield penetration will also take off the health. So then it starts rolling your other feats where it's like when an enemy drops between 100% health, you get more offense, or you get turn meter. And that's basically what that would do. It's a good one because you can combine it with all the other ones. So if you've got a shield penetration like mod, you would then put the other mod on that you're going to gain benefits from putting an enemy below 100% health, like either it's ability block or you get turn meter or you get like 30% health, and you could do that straight away. Like
very important to practice safe penetration, gentlemen.
Yes, it is. Yeah. All right. We did the one from Marvel. You hit that one already, Aldous.
I don't know if anybody has anything else on it, but just improving that squad arena. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we covered it. Tano says, question, what ship do you really want then? Red 5.
Red 5.
Please, God.
5.
Please, Jesus and baby Jesus.
Just float the executor.
Just put it in there. Just give me Red 5.
Just torpedo it, just put torpedo it.
Yeah, I want B-Wings and A-Wings and Red 5 and TIE Defenders and Interceptors. I mean, come on! Sorry, I got carried away there. Plagued Heart says, question, what do you want more, Tusken Gaffy Bubba or Shiny Armor Bubba? Oh, I want both. I want to where he busts out that goddamn stick and hits somebody in the face, and I also want knee rockets to the scrotum from Boba Fett too. Man, I want it all.
I want Galactic Legend Dad Bod Boba.
Yes.
Using the Gaffy stick to charge up the ultimate to change into knee rocket, AoE, everyone gone, game over. That's all I want.
My next 2 GLs, I think they're going to do. One's going to be some version of Leia and either Jabba the Hutt, which I'm 50-50 on, but Dad Bod Boba Fett. Those are the 2 next GLs. Let's go.
That makes sense with Book of Boba Fett coming out soon anyway, guys.
I would be like...
Yeah, we're going to get the Mandalorian as well. He's going to get a Galactic Legend with this show, isn't he?
Eventually, yeah. He'll be pretty badass. Yeah. But he deserves it. That last scene in Season 2 with him and Grogu... the feels.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
God. So God.
He deserves a Galactic Legend because he took his mask off and cried. Is that what you're saying, Reed?
No, I'm saying he's getting there. I didn't say he was there.
I'm just saying, you're saying that last scene he deserves it, and I was like,
he's building up the case, man. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Did you not get the feels on that? Don't even play there, man. Come on, you got the feels.
I'm not saying.
Yeah,
of course.
He's getting
everyone
there.
got the fills, He was crying.
Hey, after 2 or 3 more seasons of him, man, he's gonna be up there, brother. He's the main character. I mean, I'm telling you, just wait for it. Wait till he becomes like the next Mandalore. Then we'll be like, yep, GL, bam, it's time.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be. That's where it's going to, isn't it? With the dark saber.
Oh my god. Nathan H says, question: how would you implement zombie clones and geos in the game? Ew. I hadn't really thought about that one. Anybody?
What?
How would you implement zombie clones or geos?
No, I heard you, but like, what does that mean?
Well, it's like from the Rebels where they had zombies for both of them and stuff.
Wouldn't.
Oh, it's a bit of a push. I can't see
it. I'm confused. They had zombies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's early Clone Wars.
The one with the little the bookworm.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
I'm not really.
Not really.
I think we'll be seeing other stuff before that.
Yeah, please. Darson 1972 question: when is CG going to fix the zombie cheese team for Jedi Master Kenobi Cat? I know they're working on it.
Working on it.
That's okay.
Yeah,
hopefully never. Hopefully never.
No, it's gonna get fixed. I bet. Trust me.
Hopefully never. Hey, that's saving me. That's saving me having to bother with those difficult to gear characters. Just
Well,
hopefully
that's
never.
not the way it's supposed to work. So it's gonna,
I don't
they need
care.
to- that's the
Working for
AI.
me.
Oh, I'm
working
sure.
well
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
nice. Trust me, I like my SLKR counter, but
Working well.
no. Nathan H. question: what abilities would you like to see from GL Thrawn? Well, I don't know if we're going to Galactic Legend Thrawn, but I mean,
Fracture that works.
yeah, he's a GL. Then his fracture can fracture. I mean,
That's
hey,
right. You know what I'm saying. You know
just
where I'm coming
throwing it out there. Waka waka
Yep.
waka.
Take it and give it back. Just in another way. You gotta
Every time I
buy.
try to get out, they suck me back in.
Ordinary Thrawn's too good to get a GL Thrawn.
We'll have to wait and
He's-
see. We got to wait because we got a new version of Thrawn coming, right? With the
Show.
Ahsoka show. Yeah.
Yeah, but Thrawn is probably one of the better. He's probably top 5 characters in the game for all levels. He's
Him and Rex.
utility.
Yeah.
He's so much fun. Fracture is one of the best things so yeah, I mean, I think they would need to start altering his kit if they brought in a GL Thrawn. It would be hard to make a differentiation between two without making him ridiculous.
Hey, I don't think anybody would be like, "Oh no, ridiculous Thrawn." I'm sorry.
Double fracture.
I'm so upset
Yeah.
right now.
Fracture's entire team.
Well, they could do
Oh my
something
God.
like from the books where he had those creatures that when he's facing
The lizards. Yeah.
where if he do that because they dampened force abilities or cut off your tide.
Yeah.
of
When
force.
they got close to him. Yeah.
And that's why he was such a such a badass. He thinks ahead. Nathan H. question: what are your favorite sports teams? I mean, we can go around. I mean, Heinzie, that Australian football. Who's your favorite?
AFL down here, Australian Football League. My team is St Kilda. Followed them since I was a kid.
Right.
Long story short is that I had a choice when I was a kid, either barrack for St Kilda or sleep in the garage. It got cold after a few weeks, so the rest is history.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Aldous, any sports teams?
Scottish national football team.
Sure.
Hell yeah. We've won nothing.
That's all right. You still cheer. Trust me, man. With sports,
Do you know?
You
anyone
go
knows me as
through-
passionate. Oh my God.
you
If
go.
you've ever been at Hampden when we score against England, you've never experienced passion like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
That is,
Oh, I can only imagine. Smithy D. He's died. All right. Van Sil.
MLB, Anaheim Angels, and NHL, the Ducks.
The Dicks. Baseball, of course. I'm from Houston. I grew up with the team. I will always be a loyal fan, no matter what.
Go Rangers.
The Astros, and then
Cheaters.
yeah, so is everybody else in baseball. And then for football, my number one team has always been the Tennessee Titans, and that was because they were the Houston Oilers and they became the Titans, which broke my heart when they went to the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh my God, if we just held on to them for 2 more years, don't follow the Texans, and of course the Cowboys. My entire family's Cowboys fans. It's just what it is. Even though the Cowboys have they suck so bad.
You're born into it.
Yeah.
type of thing.
Well, you're pot committed. I mean, you just grew up. It's your team. I mean, I was spoiled growing up because they won so many Super Bowls and were just a dominant team with Emmitt Smith and the trio. It's like, God. Now I'm like, I miss those days. I remember those things. But I mean, we talk about like you're loyal no matter what, because I remember the Astros from 2010 to 2013 lost 100+ games every year. It was hard to watch
Until they started using trash cans.
That's right. And then everybody else started using stuff on the baseball, and everybody started using steroids. Get the hell out of here with the goddamn cheating shit. Baseball's no
Yeah, but
fun.
you know what? Now it's a lot harder to get
And
that.
they were
spider
the
tack.
only team.
It's a lot
to
harder
do-
to get the spider tack.
Yeah, I
on the
saw
ball.
that. That was like, but I mean, it's just baseball's one.
Have
of
you
those
actually? Okay, I actually went and bought some when they're talking about. Have you actually put your
I watched
dip your
some
fingers
videos.
in spider tack?
You got to dilute it or
Dude,
something because
You
it's
can
too-
be straight up Spider-Man with how well that thing sticks.
Yeah, but
It's
you don't.
insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You'll rip your skin off if you put too much. But
Well,
I
I don't. Thank God I don't have to do that.
mean, that spider tack stuff is no joke.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I'll stick with them no matter what. So did they cheat? You're goddamn right they did, and they deserve everything they got. But yeah, I'll still follow them no matter what. And I think we all will. Scandals.
And not everybody on that team was a cheater. I mean, a lot of the
there was
a lot of the
few.
core teams are still there. A lot of the core of that team's still there. But eventually, once that team moves out, I think everyone's going to kind of look past it.
Yeah, they just do. It's like Deflategate with Tom Brady. Just nobody gives a shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody cares. So Nathan H. question: would an Ewok glider be an unworked vehicle, or would it require a pilot? No, you have to have a pilot for Ewok gliders in space. I mean, somebody's blood has to boil, and there's
Ewok Scout.
Yeah, they have to die horribly. I mean,
Well, no, they got a lot of fur to keep them warm.
Ewok gliders in space. What else? 93. If they release a GL Mandalorian, would our regular bounty hunter Mandalorian still be better? Oh, I don't know. Depend on the kit. I do love me normal Mando. That disintegrates one of my favoriteest things in the whole wide world to use. I loves it.
Integrating is fun.
Oh God, those two, Mando and Dark Trooper, just for me have been a joy to use over and over again. I laugh every time I do it. It's so fun.
Smile on your face.
Yeah. Marvel question: are Separatists being forgotten? All these prequels content, but CG did nothing for my favorite faction. Duke and Newt feel alone when you put other Separatists in their best teams. No, Separatists have a lot of love. I get tons of holds recently in this round of GAC. I think it was the fourth or fifth bat. I had 16 holds with a Newt team. Dooku, I run Dooku with Django and I think Troidica. No, well, somebody else, but I get decent holds and they still banners. They're really, really good. And once you get in Relic, they're really good. Newt's a nightmare. He is an absolute banner stealing nightmare to deal with if you don't have the right team. And I get. That's two teams I get holds in threes more than anything. First Order with Hux, lead, and Newt. It's not. I get holds with my GLs, but it's iffy. It depends if they went like full cheese defense, which my opponent did today, by the way. So we'll have some fun in GAC. But those two characters, if they don't do that, if it's like a really close match, those Separatists, man, Geonosians are really awesome on defense. I mean, on offense. I mean, they can clear a lot of stuff. It's a lot of fun. I think Separatists are okay. I don't know how you guys feel.
I mean, it would be nice, not just Separatists, but like, it would be nice to get some like marquees again, just to like, hey, here's a marquee for this faction, here's a marquee for that faction, which exactly is how I predict the end of the year is going to go. By the way, I think they're just going to unload marquees on us that they're not going to be required for anything. They're just going to be like faction booster characters. But yeah, the amount of Galactic Republic versus Separatists, and it does feel like Separatists are kind of being left behind. But like Ranger said, they're still pretty solid. But yeah, it would be nice to get a new character to make a staple on the Grievous team, because sure. I feel like Grievous is not what he used to be, but he's still good, but he's just like not that scary monster he once was.
No. I think they're great. I think like you covered I think the problem I see is that the mechanics are so complicated. You can't really toss another character in there without potentially breaking them. It would take a huge amount of testing. Love to all the playtesters, because Newt, Grievous, all these people are so new. It's complicated. I'll be interested to see the first G9 or R9 Grievous and what the hell that does. That was obviously all of our first R7s. So I'll be interested to see what that R9 does. Yeah, they're fun characters. I like the Separatists. I think they have a good place compared to other characters, but I worry that we're not able really to add one or two more in without breaking the mechanics.
There you go. All right.
I think
go ahead.
R9 it's going to be like a level cap to level 90, surely.
No.
Level cap to level 90 means Vanciel goes away.
I mean, it might happen, but I think we're past that point now.
They're talking about all this defense, aren't they? So the level's based on the modifier, where relics then modify what.
Yeah,
the
but I think that's
actual
how they're leveling
character
now. It's
stat
not
is,
so
isn't it?
much the character level; it's the relic
Yeah.
levels. And
You
if you
have
see
to
the
do
stats increase
increments.
with, if you see the stat increases that these relics do, you don't think about it, but there's a huge jump from relic 7 to relic 8 on a character. It's
And Relic
really,
8 to 9 is going to be even bigger.
yeah, and so I mean that's where the increase in the stats that you would get from levels. So there's really no point to taking them to level 90, unless they start increasing the like the characters, the NPCs that you face are like level 120 or something. Then you're like, yeah, we might need a little bit of a bump of level because that's ridiculous, So
I think the way they've got it all dialed in, though, I think it would break a lot more things if they bumped at level 90 than it is to increase by relics. The way that it's all dialed in now, I think that would actually be a pretty bad thing, unfortunately. It would be easier for us in game, certainly in many game modes, but I think that would cause a lot more problems than solve them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, that is all the questions. Can you believe it, folks? And we got through all the questions, and it's now time where we allow these awesome folks to pimp their stuff. And please go check out their content. These gentlemen and ladies that come on this stream, they could be doing anything else on a Saturday, but they're hanging out here answering your questions, trying to help you get you the answers you're looking for. So go look at their videos, go sub or follow on their channel, whatever you like. Find the channels you like and support them. I mean, if they're here, at least show some love back for these guys doing it. And we'll start off with Hoinsey. Where can folks check you out?
Yeah, Heinzie, YouTube done. Galactic Legend Heinzie on Twitch.
Yep.
We've got our last battle on Monday morning US time, I think around 9 a.m. Eastern.
Right.
Getting Hershey to hang out with me. We got a bit of a tradition where we get our favorite boy from Kentucky to come and hang with us. So we'll have some fun with that. That should be great.
And
Looking
it's going
forward
to be a
it.
holiday too.
It's Saturday. Oh, Friday night. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, Otis.
Welcome to Sandflies on Twitch. So much love in chat for me. It's good. It's a fun time. I stream at the end of the US night, so about 9-10 hours ago. I've only ever timed out 2 people in my channel. One was Jay Murph, because he disagreed with me. The other was Loki, because he was talking nonsense. It's a lawless society we run. Come check it out. It's fun time. It's a fun time.
In a world gone wrong, where one man stands up to people that hate him.
Just anyone that disagrees.
Anyone who disagrees gets the band hammer. Aldous Sandfly, coming December 4th to a theater near you. All right.
I only timed him out. I didn't buy him.
Okay.
Yet.
Smithy D, where can folks check you out at?
On YouTube, it's Smithy D.
No, say it with more compassion and conviction. Jesus, you sound like you died, man.
Yeah. I've been ill a week. I had the second.
I don't.
COVID test.
Yeah, but you can suck up 5 seconds of energy to say, "Hey, check me out at the Smithy Day on YouTube." Look, I did it for you. No bother. Just
There we go. Yeah, Rangers done it.
Yeah,
Check me
there
out
you
on
go.
YouTube.
Yeah, helping
where you can see
out.
some Galaxy Heroes videos.
See, there's the energy I was
like
expecting.
that, and have that British accent. Yeah, on
There you go.
YouTube. Just search Smithy D. I'm the only one around. Sound a bit like Heinzie though.
Big D.
Bit of Australian lingo there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big.
Big D.
The Bounty Hunter Whisperer. Where can folks check you out at?
Just type in Van Seal on YouTube or Twitch, and I have a YouTube channel. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I'm still working on another Executor versus Malevolence video. This one's taking me a lot longer to make. I'm gonna try to get it done by the end of the weekend, and then Twitch. I'm gonna be doing my GAC here in about an hour. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yee. All right. And of course, you're watching this on RSG. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe. And as a friendly reminder, got a lot of streams coming up for you guys. So after this, about 10-15 minutes, a quick break. Of course, I always welcome anybody from the panel that wants to hang out. They are more than welcome to stay here. And as we go do my GAC, so we'll knock that out and have some more fun with you guys over on Twitch. You can find the link in the description below. So we'll go knock that out. Mine go pretty quick. I don't take 3 hours like Heinzie. So
Well, we drink a lot.
that's true. That's a really good excuse. Actually, that's
When you
get
drink, the
past.
GACs
they
take
do,
forever.
They do take, yeah.
They don't seem like they are, but they're like, 3 hours, 2 battles, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we take some time, man. We got to
It's
fit
all
in
about
a few
having fun.
refreshments.
Yeah.
So
So we'll do that. So prepare over there on Twitch. Just jump on over there. I'll get the channel set up here. Of course, we all need a little bit of a break, get something to drink, use the bathroom, reset ourselves, and then we'll come do some GAC. So on behalf of myself and the Academy, the panel, thank you guys so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day. If we don't see you on our channels, we'll see you when we see you. So be safe.